All right, folks. So today I'm going to show you how to install and run Faircamp on a Linux computer so that you can quickly create and edit your own music streaming website. The distribution of Linux that I'm using today is Ubuntu because it's the most common desktop distribution. But you can probably install this on the other version of Linux as well. I assume that if you're using Linux, you probably know a little bit more about how to customize your system. So if you want to see the source code for Faircamp, you can actually check that out on the Faircamp website. Anyways, assumptions aside, the Faircamp tool is a static site generator. What this means is that it takes whatever input you give it, in this case, our audio files, and it spits out all the contents you need for a fully functional website. If the concept is not clear right away, hopefully by the end of this video, you should understand what it is and how it works. So in this video, we're going to be using the Linux terminal. So again, I assume if you're a Linux user, you're probably a little bit more savvy with this one. But if you're not familiar or comfortable with using the tool, don't worry, because I'm going to walk you through each step of the process carefully and thoroughly. So hopefully there's little room for confusion. The first part of this video will be the installation setup. If you're watching this video to remember how to make edits to your site, I'll mark a chapter in the video. So if you ever go back to this video for reference, you can just skip to the customization part. And I did not prepare so much for this tutorial. So we're just going to take a crack at it and see how it goes. So let's jump into it. So I have some steps outlined here, and we're just going to walk through these as we go through the tutorial. So the first step is going to be installing VSCode. I have a link to the Visual Studio download page here, but I'm actually just going to use snap to install it. So sudo snap install -- classic code. Sweet. Okay, so this is an easy way to install VS Code. The reason why we're installing VS Code is because it's just it's going to make checking out all of our configuration files in our project at a glance just a lot easier. Of course, you can use whatever text editor you want. And also, if you're not on Ubuntu, you may not have Snap installed. So feel free to either go to the VS Code website, or you can probably fetch it from whichever package manager you're using. So the next step is to install Faircamp. And I have my Mac tutorial instructions here, which I'll delete. So on the SimonRep webpage, simonrep.com/Faircamp/download, you will find links to the various builds. So for our version of Linux, which we can just say LSB release -A. Yes, so we can see that we are on Ubuntu 2404.2. So this is in the this range, this 23 through 25. So I'm going to install the Debian 12 package. So we'll grab the deb, and then we can install this. So just open up your terminal, go to your downloads folder. You can see that I've downloaded a couple times here. So we'll just say sudo dpackage -i faircamp.deb. So this will install Faircamp. I have already installed it. So if you are installing this from scratch, please know that you also have to install ffmpeg and libvips42. If you want to see those packages, it'll probably warn you as you're installing it that you need to install them, or you just do apt -- I'll type it out, sudo apt install -- fix broken, something like this, and it'll install them. I'll show you -i the actual dependencies here, so you can see this ffmpeg and libvips42. So you would just want to say sudo apt-get install, ffmpeg and libvips like this, and then you should be good to go. As you can see, or I already explained that I already have installed. So yeah. So now Faircamp should be installed. So we can say which Faircamp. You can see it is installed here. And we can move on to our next step. So our next step is we are going to move our audio files into place. So what I will do is I will open Visual Studio Code. And I will create a, well, let's do it in the, yeah. So you can create a project folder anywhere. I'm just gonna do it in my documents folder. I will make a folder called the Faircamp demo. Oh, okay, we'll call it Faircamp demo 2. And we'll open this up in VSCode. What was this one? Cool. And now we can get started. So I already have an example site here that I created before. And I'm just going to use this as a guideline for how to build our project here on the right. But we're going to build this from scratch. So first what we'll do is we'll create a folder called catalog with a capital C. And then inside here, we will build our project folders. So, gosh, actually, I bet I could do this easier from the command line. Yeah, cool. So, I can actually just do this. We're installing tree. Oh, fuck me. Okay, so check it out. So, yeah. So this is what we'll eventually build. So we need in our catalog, we're gonna make a folder for each one of our projects. So in the catalog folder, I'll make a new folder called bike lane. And I am going to copy over my audio files and my cover art. So I'm doing it through the UI because where did I put it? Oh yeah. Silly. Okay, so we'll copy our audio files over here. And we will also copy our cover art over here. So now we have our template and we can move on to the next step, which is writing the config. So we have these eno files, which is basically a markup for the site configuration. It's fairly simple. I'll show you an example here. This catalog.eno, it's kind of like Markdown, but a little bit less expressive, but that's cool. I mean, it does what it needs to do. So, God, I really shouldn't say that on the fucking tutorial. Okay. Anyways, so, yeah. So, sorry, Simon. Okay, so we'll just start converting the configuration over here. So in catalog, we'll make a catalog.eno, and in bike lane, we will make a release.eno. Make sure this is in the catalog folder. Yeah. No, sorry, this should be outside of the catalog folder. Okay. In our release.eno, we put the hello. Okay. You know, I love Linux, but I hate GNOME. I don't hate it, but okay. So for the release.eno, we will copy over our title, bike lane, and we'll copy the date as well. The date is important because it helps order the releases on those sites. So I'll save this. Now in our catalog.eno, we are going to place some additional configuration that's specific to our site. So we'll put the title, and that's actually it for now. Okay, so hopefully I'm not moving through this too fast. Please let me know in the comment section if I am, and I'll clarify some of these parts. Okay, so now we can move on to the next step, which is building. Okay, so we're gonna build our first iteration of the site. So I'm gonna open up a terminal, and this will open up a terminal in our folder, and we can run the Faircamp -- preview command. So this will open up a preview of our website. It runs the script which transcodes our audio files into some additional streaming formats. Then in Firefox, it'll open up our site. So as you can see, it's super bare bones at the moment, but it's a fully functional streaming site. So it shows your artist name. It has a section for the releases. And if you click on the release, you can see that there is music here. So I don't know if that came through or not, but if you go and click on this on your own build, you will see that your music is playing through the site. So we can come here and hit Control-C to close it. That's the first build of the site. So now we can customize the site as well. So if you run the Faircamp preview command with the theming widget, it will open the site, but also with this theming overlay. So you can come in here and you can customize the colors with the various sliders here, which you probably have to play around with this on your own. But you'll notice that as I adjust these, it begins to print out in this theme section some customization parameters. So once you find something that you like, you can actually just copy this here, and you can come over to your catalog.eno and paste this in. So the next time you run your Faircamp preview command, you'll notice that the theme sticks around now. So super dope. There's also some additional customizations you can do. So let's say we want to add like a background image or a custom font. So I'm going to make a static folder here for my static assets. And I'm going to drag over a background image that I have, as well as this font, which is in WAF format. If your font is in a different format, like TTF, you can come over here and you can say like, TTF to WAF and look up a converter online. Or there's a command line tool to do that as well. I don't remember what it's called, but we can just look it up. Wait, command line. TTF to WAF. I think I used that before. I don't know. You can check that out on your own. Anyways, once we've created our static assets here, in our theme, we just have to add some additional parameters. I'll open up my customized example here. I have my background image and my custom font. Yes, and you can see it's pointing to the static folder. So now when I run this again, bang, we have custom. So you can also adjust the background alpha, and this will make your background a bit more clear. And this is kind of what my site looks like today. So I'll show you my site that's live today. So as you can see here, I've got a bunch of releases, background. I also have this banner image, which is pretty cool. Synopsis. Also for different releases, you can see that I have collabs, I can also put this alternate description and have links to the homies. So there's and you can also download your music as well. Yeah, and you can also hide this behind a download code, so you can sell codes at a show, something like that. So yeah, there's a modest amount of customization that you can do there. The other thing I want to show you is if you want to modify the build directory, and this is actually more important for other operating systems because Linux doesn't hide these well, actually it does hide these, but whatever. So you can run the Faircamp build-dir command, and this will output to a folder of your choice. If I run it for output, I'm going to create a output folder here. It has the same static assets. So the next step to get your website live is to host the website. I'm going to put this in a different tutorial video because there's some additional steps that applies to any instance of Faircamp. So I would rather just separate that out. And, if you need to go to the hosting tutorial for any reason, it'll be in its own video. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to hit the support email that I'll put in the video description. You can also check out the Faircamp documentation at simonrep.com. Yeah, have fun with it. I hope that this tutorial was easy to follow. And yeah, as always, thanks for listening.